First of all, I want to Vinod Gupta to our speaker today. I'm really excited to have him here. And then I would like you to, let's see, if we can do the opening hymn. We're going to do music, ladies and gentlemen. Opening hymn, let there be peace on earth. Stand up, everybody, if you want. Okey doke, thank you, it was fun. I would like to read the statement of intent. We continue to be fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services, and by using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church community where we can worship the God of our own understanding, to gain joy and to experience joy and be uplifted, to gain strength and inspiration we can share with others throughout the week. And we invite you to join us in this celebration of life and to nourish your spirit and to enjoy the community of kindred souls. Next is announcements. Anybody have anything they'd like to inform us of, to announce? I guess not. And any prayer requests for anybody who's here has okay, I'm glad everybody's healthy. That's super. Okay. Let's just do the principles next. It's on your card, right here. Everybody will say it. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. And we affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and identity of the individual continue after the change called death. And we believe in our universal connection in spirit, and that there is communication between the spiritual and physical worlds. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do we also unto them. And we affirm the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes contained in all sacred texts. And so now I would like to ask for Vinod to come up. And would you like to do a meditation or not? No. Okay. Well, I would like to say it is yours. Okay, I'll step aside and enjoy your talk. Thank you.
All you, Vinod. Do you want to make a brief introduction here before we go to the screen?
Yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. You.
I introduce myself, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
you introduce yourself. Go for it.
Okay.
I'll pull it down. Is it working?
Yeah, turn
All that's working.
Okay.
You have all this hooked up? And
Yep. We're all set.
turn it on.
It is on. It was on. How do we lose power down there?
Just a minute. Power got turned off. You kicked it.
Andrew? What did I do?
Pull the plug. Somebody pull the plug.
Is this it?
Yeah, somebody pull
Oh.
the plug.
That would help.
See, this red light is on.
Here we go.
Everything else fails, Andrew. Check see if it is plugged.
And so for the next,
Yes, sir.
for next, I
No,
push.
no, wait a minute. It should show.
it's coming. It's gotta
It
Warm
takes a
it
few
up.
seconds, yeah, warm up. And then this is forward, this
Okay.
is back.
Okay. You can stand up by the screen.
Yeah, I will.
All right. We're set. We're
All
ready to
right,
go.
okay. Next page.
Thank you, Andrew. You might want to stand on this side. For the camera. For the camera angle is better. And there you go.
All right,
See it okay? Okay.
all right. Well, good morning to all of you. I'm sorry. Is it, okay. It's good morning to all of you. I'm excited to be here. Okay. I think I spoke to this group maybe in April. Okay.
March.
March. When it's COVID, doesn't make any difference, March or April, it's all the same. Okay. Talk about happiness. Today, I'm going to share with you my experience. How do you manifest happiness? Actually, since I spoke with you, I have upgraded the definition of happiness. It is now life of fulfillment, which happiness is a part of it. And on the next page is my introduction. Okay. By training, I'm a chemical engineer. And on the way, I received a couple of masters. Okay. And I work in pulp and paper industry for almost 30 years. And then about 15 years ago, that tells you how old I am, I left paper industry, sat home for about 3 weeks, and bored to death. I thought it's going to be glorious, but it wasn't. So I had to find something to do. And by luck, I have invested my own portfolio for more than 30 years. So I thought if I can invest my money, I can invest anybody else's money in Duluth. Okay, now in a big city like Minneapolis, that's a different ballgame. So I worked 3 years on one firm, moved to another firm. So now I'm affiliated with Ameriprise Financial. I'm a financial advisor, and I got another certification in terms of financial planning. I have 2 children. One of them lives in San Francisco, and the other one lives in Austin, Texas. Okay, and I like to do a lot of activities. One of them is travel. I travel quite a bit. Actually, in November, I'm supposed to go to Israel and Jordan. And next year, in February, I'm supposed to go to Egypt. Hopefully, COVID doesn't disrupt all that. Okay, I like to do swing dancing. Okay, I'll have a little garden to keep me busy, get my hand dirty after work, do cross-country skiing in winter. Okay, I have visited 47 national parks. That does not include 6 national parks in Canada. Okay, I love to talk. You can see that now. Okay, and I read quite a bit. So about 7, 8 years ago, I was a little tense. I had pretty much everything a normal person would want. Okay, it's a nice house, nice job, which I like. Okay, plenty of money, won't run out of it. Okay, 2 wonderful children, both well educated. One of them is a PhD in electrical engineering. Other one has an attorney at a law. But still something was missing. So I started asking people, I said, this is how I feel. Something is missing. I can't put my finger on it. And they said, wow, that's easy, you know. You're a member of a health club, and there's a sauna. And there are a lot of people at your age, why don't you go talk to somebody in the sauna? And the good thing about sauna is there's nothing to hide. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing to hide. So I started asking that question. And guess what? They didn't have a clue what I was asking. Okay. So I started reading books and listening to TED Talks. I must have read more than 100 books. And as I read the books, it started to gel as to what happiness is all about. So one day I said, why don't you put in a PowerPoint slide and share it? And I have done at least 20 talks on happiness since then. Now, as I think about it, I really wasn't happy with it yet as to what is happiness. Now, there are 2 parts to happiness. Okay, the first one is gratitude. You cannot be happy without gratitude, period. Okay, so you got to, and I'll share with you in a moment why gratitude is important. Okay, the second part, I used to call it happiness, but no, anymore, it's fulfillment. You can be happy, but you may not be fulfilled. To get fulfilled, you got to go after whatever you desire in life. Okay, somebody asked me a question. He said, gee whiz, you know, I am on a walker. What do you want me to do to fulfill my life? I said, just an example. How far do you walk on your walker? He said, maybe a block. I said, try block and a half. Okay, something more than you are doing, and you are a little bit uncomfortable in doing that. Okay, and so next question came in. How do you manifest that? So today the topic is, how do you manifest whatever you desire in your life? Really, they'll be all different. Okay, and what I'll do is, I said, well, I got to try these principles on myself first. Okay, because I'm not standing here to preach. I'm standing here to share with you, okay, what I have learned as I put into practice what you're going to share today. So manifestation has to do with the second item. How do you achieve what you want? Okay. Now, question is, what would you like to manifest? I'll let you think about it. What would you like to manifest in your life at this stage in life? I can't hear you.
Enjoy every part of my life. Every day, one day at a time. And enjoy my family and all the people that I meet.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to share? What would you like to manifest? Go ahead, please.
I'd like to manifest a jewelry workshop. I really want to make jewelry.
All right. Now, you don't have anything to write. Generally, I will ask you, what would you like to manifest within the next 1 year, within the next 10 years, and at the time you say bye-bye to this world. You'll be surprised that what you want to manifest 1 year from now, 10 years from now, at the time of death is all different. So what does that say? Manifestation is a lifestyle issue. It's not a single event. Because it keeps changing, because you are changing, you are getting old, and the people around you are changing. You got children, grandchildren, okay? City keeps changing, we got COVID. So things keep changing. And to be fulfilled, you got to adapt to that change. Okay. Now, once you decide that, and it will be more clear in a few minutes, you got to ask yourself, why do I want to manifest this? And the reason for that is, if the principles I'm going to share with you are true, which I think they are, you manifest something, and depending upon whether it's within 1 year or 10 years or at the time of your death, you may find out, gee whiz, guess what? I wanted to manifest this, but this is not what I wanted. And so we have wasted, quote unquote, umpteen years. So it's really important when you are thinking of manifestation, okay, that you know that's what you want. Okay, religious people say if you do this, you'll be granted, but they never ask you why you want that. Suppose I grant you whatever you want to manifest, and you find out all of a sudden, I don't want this, this is not worth it. Okay, this is not worth it. So manifestation is a lifestyle, it's not a single event. Okay, like happiness. Happiness is a lifestyle, okay? Because the moment you achieve one, you say, well, if I had $1 million, I'll be happy. I can assure you, once you have $1 million, you won't be happy. You know why? Because you want 2 million. After you have 2, you want more. That's just being a normal human being. Now, I'm a financial advisor. A client came to me. He says, Vinod, I got 1.4 million. I would be just glad if you can work with me and increase it to 2 million. Okay. 3 years from then, we got lucky. Market was up. It was 2 million. He comes to me, yeah, I talked to you about 2 million, but I don't think that's enough. What do you think about 3? Okay. It's never ending. Okay. So there are 4 pillars of manifestation. Once you decide what you want to manifest and why you want to manifest, then there are 4 pillars. So your manifestation would base on those 4 pillars. If you can do all of them, okay, there's a huge chance, there are no guarantees in life, that whatever you want to manifest will come true. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I have 4 resolutions for this year. I'm going to apply those principles to those 4 resolutions and ask your opinion as to what's missing. As I apply these principles to my 4 resolutions, and what is the success I'm going to achieve based on how good I am at applying those. Any comments? Anybody? No? All right, next. Oh, this is just one. This is a brag slide, you know. About 7 years ago, I went to Everest Base Camp. Okay, it's about 18.6. Took me 8 days to go up and 3 days to come down. That was a wonderful experience. All right, here is a picture of you manifest in the middle. You got a goal, focus, repetition, and celebration. Okay. When you talk about a goal, okay, people who do quantum physics, I'm not one, they find out that subparticles, subatomic particles, okay, they have 2 things. They have a position and they have a rotation. They find out that as they observe these subatomic particles in the lab, okay, the rotation and position of a subatomic particle is whatever the observer sees to be. Okay, if you think it's rotating left, then how the particle rotates left. If you want it to rotate right, all you got to do is take a look at it and it rotates clockwise or anti-clockwise. So the science hasn't progressed enough to figure out how that relates to actual life yet. Okay, but my derivation from that is that if subparticles can read my mind, I can certainly read my own mind. So if I want to manifest, whatever I want to manifest, okay, I have the capability to do that because it's in the nature. Okay, it's in the universe, it's in the cosmos. Okay, so next one. All right, next one. So these are my 4 resolutions for 2021. First one is enhance my practice of mindfulness. The second one is stamp my ego. Third one is improve my sleep score. As you get older, I think you can relate to it. Okay. And the last one is make a certain number of dollars. Okay. First pillar, goal. Why do you want to manifest a goal? You achieve some things, then find out that's not what you really wanted. It engages your emotions. Let me give you a couple of examples how emotions play a part in your goal setting. Okay. Now, a lot of people talk about goals, but they truly don't talk about that to succeed in achieving your goal, you got to have emotion attached to it. Give you an example. Here is a young football player, 16 years old. He's a pretty good football player. Okay. So one day the coach comes to me, let's call him Chad. He said, hey Chad, come to my office. Chad, surprise. Coach never asked him to come to his office. So, okay, coach. Chad goes to coach's office and coach asks him to sit down. I never heard of coach asking a player to sit down. He said, what do you want, coach? He said, you know something? I watched you for last 1 month. You're tackling harder, you're running faster, you have more catches. What's your secret? I want to share that with the rest of the team so we can become a better team. Chad said, coach, you really want to know? Coach says, yeah, I really want to know. He said, coach, my father died about a month ago. I get emotional when I tell this story. He said, my father died about a month ago. He was blind. He couldn't see me. Now he can. So I play for him. Tell you another story. He's a local newspaper reporter. Friday afternoon, he has nothing much to do, so he said, I'm going to take a walk around town. And in town, they're building a church, new church. So he sees these people laying bricks. So he goes down, asks the guy who's laying brick, he said, what you doing? He said, I'm laying brick. I said, okay, thank you, appreciate that. He goes to a second person who's laying brick. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm building a church. I said, that's very nice. He goes to the third person who's doing exactly the same thing. He said, what you doing? He said, I'm building a house of God. Guess what? If you were to hire a bricklayer, who would you hire? Okay. So whatever you want to manifest, you got to achieve, you got to attach meaning to it, which is meaningful to you, may not to be anybody else. Okay, may not be anybody. And we call it passion. In business circles, we call it passion. Okay, whatever you want to do is meaningful to you. If it is meaningful to other people, fantastic. But if it is not, forget it. It's meaningful to you. Okay. When I wanted to do Everest Base Camp, okay, I was looking for somebody to go with me. I tried, Facebook, I tried talking to people. Nobody wanted to do that. Finally, I decided I got to do it for myself. Okay, because if I had an excuse not to go, that would have been one. I can't find anybody to go with me. And I've seen a lot of people, go for a walk, go for exercise, do this, do that. Their excuse is, I can't do it. Nobody wants to do with me. Even husband and wife. Okay. Wife wants to go work out. Husband says no. She has an excuse. Hey, my husband doesn't want to do it. Okay. Goal has to be specific. Okay. And if you put it in writing, what it does, it engages your subconscious. The process of converting from up here to, in words, engages your subconsciousness. Okay? So if you want to manifest something, you need both your consciousness and subconsciousness. Okay? There are a lot of time in life we engage our consciousness, but we do not engage our subconsciousness. Therefore, we are not as successful, as fast as we could be. Okay, I'm sure you have heard a lot of stories, people who engage their subconsciousness at night, dream of what the solution is to a problem they haven't figured out sometimes in years. It has to have a timeline. Okay, it has to have a time. So you need to know what you want to achieve, by when you want to achieve it. Okay, and the last, it got to be achievable. I was giving a talk to Duluth workforce, so I talked to, I said, where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? What is your success? One person said, I want to go to heaven. That's interesting. I don't think I'm a preacher. I can't take you to heaven, but let me ask you this. How would you know when you get there? Okay, my definition of heaven is you got to die first before you go to heaven, unless your definition is different. And he starts to cry. He was an emotional person. Okay, so sometimes we want to achieve something, we have no clue what we are talking about. Okay, particularly in religious circles, that's very, very true. People talk about stuff. They have never asked the question, what does it mean? Okay, when I get there, how would I know I got there? So on a scale to 0 to 10, you want to achieve something which is between 4 and 8. Less than 4 is too easy. Okay, you won't feel challenged. More than 8 meaning not doable. Okay, like going to heaven. Okay, so let's apply the first pillar to my goals. There are 4 goals. First one is, why do I want to enhance mindfulness practice? Okay, question is why. Anybody wants to take a shot at it? Yes, ma'am.
If you're mindful and you're paying attention to at least the physical part,
I can't hear you. I'm hard of hearing, so.
if you're mindful of everything that's around you as much as possible, then the availability of clues for what you can then pick up and work with and put towards the goal, it will manifest. It will show up. Okay, there'll be literally a physical clue of some kind. Somebody will say something. Somebody will show you a book. Somebody will say, I don't know, will do something for somebody else and you'll see it. And you'll look at that and you're going to say, okay, that's part of the process for me.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. What it does is it increases your awareness. Okay? If you want to buy a car, Sue mentioned that to me. She wanted to buy. What car did you want to buy?
A Subaru Crosstrek.
Okay. And all of a sudden, before she didn't see any Subarus on the road. The moment she decides she wants to buy one, guess what? Every 5th car is a Subaru. Okay. That's what happens. Okay. When you're aware of it, aware of the present, there are a lot of clues. They've been all there around. Okay. But you are aware of it and you lock onto it, and that's the opportunity for you to manifest what you're looking for in life. Manifestation, what you want to manifest could be a fad. Okay, we do it all the time. Okay, losing weight becomes a fad. Okay, buying a car of a certain type becomes a fad. Okay, and how do you measure it? Once you get there, okay, how do you measure it? That's where I failed. I could not find out how do I measure, okay, mindfulness. So I put it on the Facebook. I say, hey, this is my resolution. I want to find out if any one of you know how to measure. Because I won't know if I got there that I am there, or if I didn't get there that I need to do more work. Guess what? Nobody had a clue. They made fun of it, but that's okay. So those are the things you need to apply, and if you can do them all, and you'll see it. Some goals I had, I was able to apply all of them, and guess what? I was successful before my timeline. Okay, next one. Issues 2, why do I want to tap my ego? Okay, have you ever thought about that? Okay, give you an example. It's not personal, I'm just giving an example. Suppose I tell you, you're a jerk. What has changed? My telling you jerk hasn't changed nothing. You're still a wise man. Only thing it has changed is it has bruised your ego. And the reason it bruised your ego is because you have learned through life when somebody tells you a jerk, it's a negative thing. By calling you a jerk, I'm not telling you anything. I'm telling you more as to what my frame of mind is. Okay, but that's not how we look at it. We look at it, people fight, kill each other just because somebody said something. Okay, particularly these days. Okay, where we have so much separation of thinking as compared to saying, no big deal. Okay, so one day I was eating at a restaurant and I'm diabetic, so I had to go to the bathroom. I knock on the door and I thought maybe it's stuck, so I knock on the second time. A person came out and told me I was stupid. Maybe he's right at that moment, because I've done stupid things in my life. Won't be the first one, won't be the last one. Okay, but for a few seconds, he got my goat. Then I realized it's not about me, it's about him. Okay, maybe he tried to go to the bathroom, couldn't. Okay, so that's how life is. Okay, how would I measure my progress? Okay, didn't have a clue. Only thing you can do is on a qualitative basis. Think about how many times somebody said something, you take it personal. Okay, I say, oh, this time I didn't do that. Okay, and I talk to many people, still no answers, because people don't even ask the question. Okay, measurement could be qualitative or quantitative. Okay, qualitative measurement would be at the end of the day, you say, how many times did somebody say something negative about you or somebody else? Okay, you say, well, yesterday it was 10 out of 10, today is 9 out of 10. So that way you can keep track of it. Issues 3, why do I want to improve sleep score? Anybody wants to chime in?
Clarity.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Your mind is more clear if you can sleep, okay, well. To me, the major thing was the first 2 items. Here is the measurement. I have a Fitbit, and Fitbit gives me a sleep score. I don't know how good the number is, but at least it's a number. And I found out if my sleep score is better, okay, it is because my ego didn't get trampled. Because once my ego gets trampled, guess what happened? Around 2 o'clock at night, I'm thinking about so-and-so said something. Why did they do that? What's wrong with me? Okay, so it's a measurement, it's a pseudo measurement. It's a pseudo measurement. How would I measure my progress? I have a Fitbit. Okay, I can measure my progress. Fitbit give me a slope number. Okay, tried heavy. Now comes the question is, if you have a goal, if you don't have a plan, the goal is not worth much. So here, because I had measurement and I was looking at a timeline of 2021, I wanted to see what my plan was. So I started reading books as to how to improve sleep score. And these are some of the things I tried. Heavy blanket. People say if you use heavy blanket, you sleep better. Okay. Ocean wave music. All right. Lavender essential oil. You rub it on your temples. Supposed to be better. Black eye patch. Just in case, room was not completely dark. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars buying black curtains or shades, you put it, for $2 you can buy a black eye patch. None of them improved my sleep score much. Then I was reading that if you have intermittent fasting, it can help your sleep score. I did that because I'm diabetic and it is supposed to improve my blood sugar. I thought, it sounds hokey. Truly sounds hokey. But what do I got to lose? And I want to share with you, it worked. Okay, it truly worked. Now, I haven't tried one thing at a time, so I do not know. But I do know of all these things, plus that made a difference. Okay, I don't know if you didn't do one of these and did that, whether it would help or not. Okay, so intermittent fasting, maybe once a week, you don't eat for 14 to 16 hours. Okay, for me it was easy. Generally, I eat supper at 6 o'clock, 6:30. I move that up to about 4:30. And I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. And on a weekend, I go for a walk in the morning. And by the time I come back, it's 9 o'clock. And that's 16 hours. So without sacrificing too much. Other indication of that was that I was doing intermittent fasting. Before that, I never felt hungry. You eat because noontime, time to eat. You eat supper because 6:30. You eat breakfast because 7 o'clock in the morning. That's what you're supposed to do. But never felt hungry. But now, about 20% of the time, I can feel hungry when I have breakfast. Okay? So the bottom line of all this is too much chatter in my head. Okay? Too much chatter. Part of it is due to very high ego. Okay? Part of it is due to why you're chattering is because mindfulness. Your mind is always thinking about the past or worrying about tomorrow I get a meeting, I got to talk to some elite people. Okay, what do I do? Would I be okay? Fourth issue, goals. Okay, a certain number of dollars. Dollars don't buy happiness, but everything else you need to do which will give you happiness costs money. Even meditation, if you want to learn, costs money. Okay, but I was most successful with that pillar. I knew a dollar number, I had a timeline, I knew how to go about doing that, and I was way ahead of time. Okay, so in terms of applying 4 pillars to the goal I could manifest, where I had all 4 pillars, I was most successful. Okay, second goal was what? Sleep score. I had a measurement, I had a timeline. I didn't know whether it's doable or not, but if I did enough work, it was doable. First 2, I'll let you be the judge. Okay, I'll let you be the judge. Because I don't have all the requirements for a successful goal. So I do not know where I'm at. Okay? So in terms of a plan to achieve your short-term or long-term goal, you got to have both. Okay? Making certain number of dollars, short-term goal, successful. Okay. Sleep score, short-term goal, not successful. Medium-term, yes. The other 2, not only I got to have a short-term goal, I got to have a long-term goal because I don't have a measurement. A missile needs a target. Your mind, both conscious and unconscious, needs a target to be successful. And I just shared with you, there were 4 resolutions I wanted to apply. Where I had a target, I was more successful than the others. And in real life, goals keep changing. These are my goals this year. Next year, maybe something else. Okay, next year could be something very different. I may have a health issue and that all of a sudden jumps on the top of what you want to achieve. Now what stops us? Once you have a goal, you have a plan, okay? You know why you want to achieve that goal. What are the hurdles? Okay, what are the hurdles? Okay. The biggest hurdle is wandering mind. Okay. As human beings, we all have about, scientists have done the work, 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. 60 to 80,000. You can calculate how many thoughts go through your mind every second. 80% of them are negative. Okay? And out of those 80%, 60% are recurring, same thing, over and over, over and over. You call me stupid. Why did you do that? I'm a good person. I think you're stupid. Okay? Over and over. That takes not only the time in your brain, it also takes a lot of emotion. Okay? So if I was to summarize all this, it's really simple. If as a human being, you can reduce the number of negative thoughts, okay, now you got to replace it with something, because the mind doesn't sit idle. Mind is churning out these things, okay? So if it doesn't churn out a negative thought, it's going to churn out something else. So if you can fill that with a positive thought, with a creative thought, you'll be more successful. Okay, you get better promotions, your kids will like you more, your grandkids will like you more, you will make more money. Okay, you have more friends, and if you care about something like that, you'll be even a better lover. Okay. So that's one. Reduce the number of negative thoughts. Okay. The second one is adversity. Happens to all of us sooner or later. Okay, that's how the laws of nature are. You break a leg, adversity, somebody dies in the family, you lose a job. 2 days ago, out of the blue, I had an accident. They totaled my car, adversity. Now, there are two ways to looking at adversity. One is a victim mentality. I'm the victim. Other one is, hey, if the adversity came to me, there got to be a meaning in it. How can I convert that adversity into something positive? My car got totaled. Maybe I got to buy a new car, okay, with all the new fancy gadgets on it. You got laid off. Maybe you get a better job. Okay, my boss yelled at me. Maybe he's trying to tell me, you got to shape up. And maybe by doing that, I'll be a much better person. So we exercise our bodies. The principle of exercising our body is simply this. Whatever you exercise grows. Anybody does workout? I know Sue does. Okay. So if you work out, upper body, your triceps get bigger. Okay. Same thing happens with mind. About 20, 25 years ago, there was a feeling that as a child, your brain doesn't change. You got whatever you got. But now they're saying the brain is plastic. Whatever you can imagine, it leaves a trace on your brain forever. Okay. So if you are a negative person and you think about negative thoughts, it changes your brain. You become more sensitive to negative things. Now, these things are happening all the time. Okay. These things are happening all the time. Okay. But your brain becomes more sensitive. You must have seen something happen. Somebody goes bonkers, and somebody who's a little more stable says, oh, it'll be all right. Okay, it is that. It impacts them differently. So negative people, that part of the brain which senses negativity gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So when you change that to positive thoughts, okay, you become happier. You take life in stride. And the other thing is this, depending upon how we are born, who we associate with, there is an upper performance limit. All of us have it. Okay, upper performance limit. When you get up to a certain point, guess what you say? I wasn't supposed to be here because I was born on the wrong side of the track. Or I'm a female, I was not supposed to be successful. Okay, or I'm not smart enough. We all have those things going on in our mind. okay, my skin color. Okay, I don't have long hair. I don't have a blonde hair. Okay, I wasn't born in South. So all these issues create an upper performance limit. I'll give you an example. When I was training for Everest Base Camp, I had done some calculations that if I went up and down Spirit Mountain 4 times, I should be able to do Everest Base Camp. Because you do about 2,000 feet up one day, okay, and Spirit Mountain is about 650 feet. So if I did it 4 times, I should be successful. Now, as I'm working on these things, one day I've done 3, and I said, this is enough. I can't do any more. And then the question came to me. He says, who told you you have to do only 4 times? Tell me. I'm asking that question to me. Tell me, who told you that 4 times is your limit? Why can't it be 5? Why can't it be 6? And I can share with you, and it's a true story. The moment I thought about that day I was able to do more than 4. Just by asking that question. In a second, okay, or even less than a second, things change. I had more energy. Before, I was going to give up. I said 3 is enough today. And all of a sudden, 3 wasn't enough. So we all have that limit. So you got to question, who told you so? People say, I'm old. I say, who told you so? You're old. Okay? And in our society, there are a whole bunch of issues. Okay? So you got to question that. Wandering mind. The worst enemy for all of us is judging yourself, judging other people, and judging situation. 60% on the average, people have a negative thought in their head because they are trying to judge either yourself, somebody else, okay, or the situation. One of my clients, she's a coordinator for alcoholism. So I was talking to her. I said, tell me, how do you not judge these people? Some of them are very successful people. They're dentists, they're doctors, they're lawyers. Alcoholism doesn't make any difference. Okay. And she looked at me. She said, nobody asked me that question ever. I said, I'm having difficulty. I look at somebody, the first thing is judgment comes through. Okay? Which really colors your perception of other individual, other situation, or even yourself. Okay, you make a mistake. You tell yourself, you're a jerk. You make mistakes all the time. You're judging yourself. Where there's nothing written any place as to who I am, except in my head. Okay, except in my head. So, judging is the biggest hurdle in terms of negative thoughts. And the others, controllers. How many divorces taken place because people have what? Control. Control. Okay? Control. There's nothing there except control. Okay? Stickler. I give you a hilarious example. I have a friend. Once in a while, she wants to do my dishes. I said, don't do that. Okay? I love to cook and she likes to eat. So that's her way of saying thank you. Now, it's funny. When I wash my plates, I put them this way. Okay? When she washes plates, she puts them this way. When I take paste out of toothpaste, I squeeze from the bottom up. When she does it from the top down. Now, if either one of us sticklers, you got a problem. Happens all the time. Okay? Happens all the time. Perfectionists, same thing. Pleaser. Some people have a pleaser mentality, okay? You tell them something, they say, yeah, you're right, because they don't want to stand up for themselves. And I'm sure in your life you have run into people who are pleasers, okay? And other one are avoiders. They want to avoid everything else, okay? And if when you're in that situation, it's very difficult to manifest what you want to do. So adversity, okay? If you have compassion for yourself, you would have compassion for other people, okay? Adversity can be an opportunity. When I left SAPI, I used to work for SAPI in Cloquet as the director of pulping research. I felt pretty bad, okay? Because all of a sudden I had a whole day nothing to do. Now that's the best thing could have happened to me. By getting a financial advisor job, which I got because I had something to do, I made more money than I would have made in lifetime working for SAPI. I didn't know that at that time, okay? That time, I was not a happy camper, okay? Things didn't go right. The world is too bad. Happens to all of us. When adversity comes in, you don't know what's in future for you, unless you think about it as to how you can convert that adversity into something which is positive. Okay? Creativity. Okay? It gives you an opportunity to be creative. Okay? Desire to contribute. When I left SAPI and started this job as a financial advisor, all of a sudden I felt the need to do volunteer work. So I do more volunteer work now than I ever done before. Okay? Capability or capacity or intention to contribute. Self-expression. My talk to you is part of that. Self-expression. Share it with others. Let them take a shot at it. And create meaning. That's what I'm working on now. Okay? How many years I got left? How do I create meaning? So when it's time for me, I would say, well, you did something right. Okay, create meaning. Focus. How many times somebody told you that if you repeat something over and over, you'll be successful? Okay, they ask you to write on a piece of paper. One key ingredient is missing. That is attention with intention. There's enough science done now that if you do something, put a lot of attention to it with intention. Okay? See the difference? Attention with intention. Okay? Then the pathways in your brain change. They are even finding out people who have stroke. Suppose you lost your speech because you had a stroke. That if you repeat a sentence, okay, with intention that I'm trying to speak something, it will change my speech. You're more successful than somebody who did that. Okay, yeah. Then repetition. Nothing is easy. I'll hate to tell you that manifestation is easy. It is easy as long as you do repetition every day. Make a routine and practice daily. Even if it is 1 minute because you're busy that day. Repetition. Okay, repetition. Repetition creates a neural pathway in brain. Okay. Everybody know Gabby Gifford? Okay. She lost her speech. She lost her balance. And now she's doing attention with intention, and she's getting some of that back. And scientists have studied her mind. All of a sudden they are finding out that part of the brain which is related to these activities is getting bigger because she is doing it with attention. So reward yourself. Okay, reward yourself. How many have seen dog shows? Have you ever seen a dog show? What happens when your dog performs what you want them to do? What do?
Give them a treat.
Give them a treat. I hate to say that. Your subconscious is just like a dog. Okay? I'm sure some of you have grandchildren or not with children. What do you do when a grandchildren does something you want them to do? Reward them. Candy, ice cream. Your subconscious is exactly the same way. The problem with your subconscious is it can't tell the difference between reality and fake. Really can't. Okay? So you got to reward yourself. You got to reward the situation. Therefore, you can reward other people when they do something right. It goes all three ways. Now, here's a poem I wrote, okay, and I'll read that for you. Manifestation poem. 1 foot in front of the other, I'll finish this hike because I hike a lot. And sometimes, like Everest Base Camp, it's not an easy hike. Okay, you have lack of oxygen and you're climbing all the time. 1 step at a time, I'll climb this mountain. 1 day at a time, I'll endure the adversity in my life. Okay, 1 day at a time. 1 action at a time, I'll reach my goal. And 1 goal at a time, I'll be successful. 1 good deed at a time, I'll make this world a better place. Now, I didn't say I want to change the world. I can't. I know that. But you can certainly help. Out of 7 billion people, you are just 1 individual. And out of 1 individual, after all the activities you do, good deed may be a very small amount. So 1 celebration at a time, I enjoy the grandeur in my life. And there's a grandeur in everybody's life. Good things happen to us all the time. But guess what we do? We ignore it. And we latch on to negative things which happen to us. Okay. Oh, life force, cosmic energy, give me the courage and strength to make it happen. So I'm thankful to Sue Brewer for giving me this opportunity to share this. I'm really excited doing that. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I don't know anything about it.
Any questions, discussion?
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And I heard about this about 4 years ago. And I
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to ask someone to come get the baskets for offering, and then we could sing number 74, In the Silence.
In the silence.
Yeah, isn't it?
No, God be with us.
No, we'll do that right now for the silence. Thank you. Now we're not quite done. So would like to read the church affirmation. It should be on your card. It is, right in here. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this community, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. Would you like to do a benediction? A benediction? Okay. Who would like to do a benediction? I am grateful for all that is and for all of you for being here, and amen. How's that? We have one more song to sing. Number 383. We always have it.
And it's on the white card, the words are on the white card for those of you.
Okay. Let me find it. All right. God be with you till we meet again. Thank you.
We were in a circle, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go back and tell them thanks for being with us on Zoom.
Thank you, Vinod, for being here and for your amazing message and reminding us to just be in the moment, be centered, and know all is well in every second. How's that? Thank,
Thanks, Zoom people, for hanging in there.
thanks, Zoom people, for hanging in there. We'll see you all next week. Okay, and Phyllis McCoy will be speaking next week. She'll be here in person, she said. Yeah, amen. Okay.